Good morning, everyone. What's going on? Kyle Henderson along with Coach Sean, Bama Football on YouTube. Coach, good morning, man. It's an amazing Saturday. It's always a blessing, to get to the weekend. It's always a blessing to wake up, man. So love having you here. Weekend targets, Coach. Let's dive right into it. What's on your mind when we talk weekend targets?
Man, always a blessing. Always a blessing. Beautiful day. Y'all work waiting on me. Listen, we got targets coming.
Yep.
We got targets coming. We got Deshaun Jones along with the Penn State safety,
Mm-hmm.
King Mack, along with the kid that I hope I'm crossing both fingers that we get, man, Khalil Jacobs.
Yeah.
This kid came from a 4.25.
Yeah.
He understands the dynamic of what Coach Womack wants. He was the star in that defense, man. He really, really, really made that defense go. Physical kid, bigger kid, 6'2", 230, 225.
Mm-hmm.
A kid that we really, really need. With Jahad Campbell being beat up some, with Deontay Lawson being beat up some, we definitely need to get that depth in here, and I can't wait to get him.
Yeah, I think when you look at a player like Khalil Jacobs, if I was to be confident in any guys who do commit this weekend or whenever it takes place, I would be, not surprised if he commits sooner than later. I saw, on message boards and stuff, people like talking like Auburn kind of late in play. I don't know. Yeah, Auburn, look, Alabama has really taken it to Auburn in a lot of different ways. Basketball, football. I mean, they're kind of just rolling through. And I think considering that Womack is here, it makes sense for Alabama to pick up him, who I think would be a good addition. I think to people out there is like South Alabama, you can't play at Alabama. That's not necessarily true. I mean, look at what Jalen Key did last year when everybody was saying that he couldn't play because he was from UAB. He started at significant games, also was picked in the NFL draft, right, as Mr. Irrelevant. So Deshaun Jones, I'm curious, Alabama certainly needs to get a corner in here. Watch his highlights. I do like his play. We talked about Isaiah Hamilton, who is going to Ole Miss, but Deshaun Jones will be on campus. And I can't tell you, Coach, you were here just a couple weeks ago. It is so beautiful here. It's graduation weekend. By the way, if you are graduating, like man, nobody can take your education away from you. So I'm just really elated for everybody who is graduating. But man, it's beautiful out here. What do you like about Deshaun Jones? And because Alabama needs some vets to come in here to push these younger guys to help with the mentorship. What's your take on Deshaun Jones?
I like Deshaun Jones because he came from a 4.25. I like him because he understands that vision coverage type feel. He understands great leverage. Kid can play man. I've seen him play man. Kid can play man if need be, can play press if need be. Kid understands. Not the most talented playmaking corner you're going to find, but if you want a solid corner that's not going to give up plays, a solid corner that you don't have to teach this defense to, that's your guy.
Yep. I like his game, and I think it's a great point that he did. He's part of the 4.25. Another guy that I wanted to talk about is King Mack. First of all, like one of the dopest names, right? You had Kool-Aid head out, but I mean, if you get King Mack, he's a younger guy, played mostly special teams for Penn State. Have you had any chance to look at some of the detail with King Mack?
I did. I think with King Mack, they see a kid that's going to blossom into something. I think with King Mack, he'll provide great depth and he'll come into an already young room. But this kid is ahead of the curve, man. He understands this type of defense. He understands what's required of him, when it comes to leverages and 1 safety high, 2 safety high, and he's physical. He's physical on special teams. So it's a kid that has played, right? Another young guy nonetheless, but at least he's had game reps. He's played on special teams. He understands what it is to go out there in front of 100,000+ people. And I would not mind having him in this room. That's a whole fact.
Adam Lampello, what's up? Good morning to you, man. Good morning, Kimberly. Everybody in the Undefeated. Good morning, Matthew Nelson. What's up, man? Appreciate you being here. Chris from New Jersey. Adam is saying none of them will beat the 5-star freshman, which could very well be the case. And I think when Alabama looks at their roster, it was clearly depleted in the secondary because you also have, think about the transfers who are coming in. Under Coach Saban, you have Damani Jackson. Then you added Keon Sabb. You have Cam Howard, who came over from Charlotte. You need guys, right? Like, you need guys like King Mack. He might not be able to beat out one of these other guys, but you need guys because of all the talent that left Alabama. And these guys have played and these guys do have experience. But that is a good point. Like, just because you have experience somewhere else, man, these guys are heavily touted and already have kind of went through the system, have worked with Mo Lindquist and Colin Hitchler in the secondary. So they do have an added advantage, but I like the fact that they are going for some vets. And speaking of a vet, he's played in 34 appearances, is Kobee Minior. Coach, have you had a chance to do some detail on Minior? He's from Indiana, was also at Texas Tech. It's crazy, Coach. It's amazing now to see how many players have been at other spots. Like Jeremy Bernard, he was at Michigan State. Then he went to Washington. Yeah. Now he's at Alabama. Kobee Minior, my detail, Texas Tech in Lubbock. Then he goes up to Indiana and, coming for a visit next weekend. What's your take on Kobee Minior?
I like Kobee Minior. See, I'm a little different, man. I respect the stars. I respect it, but the stars only tell me what you did in high school. These other kids, true enough, they may not have been as highly recruited coming out of high school, but they've been in college. They understand what it is to go out there in front of 100,000+. Look at Keon Sabb. He was at another place. He was like their third safety, but he came to Bama and started, right? This kid made honorable mention. He earned honorable mention for the Big Ten. Honorable mention means where you weren't quite in the top all Big Ten athletes, you were right there. Right there. This kid is 6 foot, 185, from Dallas, Texas, come from good high school programs. I think if nothing less, he will compete for this job. He will compete for this job. We're very, very young opposite Damani Jackson, extremely young. And I just enjoy the fact we can bring in some competition right now that's not freshmen.
Yeah. Coach, before we move to point 3, I appreciate you guys being here. I'm going to be here about until 10:25. I got to take my son. He's working his first 8-hour shift, which is cool at Chick-fil-A. Fatherly responsibilities. I have full custody of my kids, so it's important to take care of your kids. Right, Coach? Mia, just rocking with you all the time. I'm driving here and there, and,
yes,
the kids are such an important, but it's so important to have, the father in their life. Yeah, even those drives, like over there, are just like important, just talking.
Yes, sir.
But Coach, like, before I get to point 3, what do you think about Damani Jackson? Like, have you kind of stepped back and because the name is impactful, 5-star guy, USC. Look, in my opinion, he has a very high ceiling. I don't, he's not maxed out by any means. What's your take on Damani Jackson?
I'm extremely high on Damani. Listen, I thought we was going to get him out of high school. He was very, very, very close to committing to Alabama. He came down to Alabama and USC and Michigan. I think those are his last three schools. Damani ended up getting hurt in high school, then he got hurt again in college. Came back, bounced back, played, right? Horrible defense at USC. Crazy schematics. Every time I watched him at USC, I didn't quite know what the hell he was doing. They had him playing press bail every play. Yeah. None of us, I asked all the guys on here, do y'all understand what's going on in this defense? Coach Jay, none of us understood what the hell they had him doing. It's almost like they had him mirroring the wide receiver and just playing base coverage, like no technique whatsoever. This kid is talented. Man. He's one of the fastest players on the team. He understands leverage. This kid's come from a great high school program. It does not get any better than modern day in California.
Yes.
So Damani will have a big year. You can book that.
And another guy came out of modern day. He's not too bad, right? I mean, he's like the first pick in the NFL draft. Bryce Young, right?
It's a fact.
Coach, when we're talking, and I know you like to talk to running backs because you were a running back.
Yes, sir.
This running back room, every time I put up a poll or every time I talk about the running back room, the first thing is you're sleeping on Richard Young. So we are starting with Richard Young.
Yeah.
So I was surprised during A-Day that he only ran for 27 yards. The yards after contact probably were 27. I didn't realize how physical of a runner it is. He ran pissed off. Like, he didn't have his shot last year. And I think he's just kind of like emulating, I can carry the rock when my name is called. What is your take on Richard Young? Let's start right there to highlight him because he's a dude. He's ready.
I think Richard Young is just as talented as Jam or Justice. I'm on record saying this. This kid is just the product of having two other backs of similar fashion right in front of you. Richard is going to play, though. This offense with the pin and pull, with the counters, with the counteraction, with the mixes, the pre-snap motion. Richard's gonna play.
Yeah.
3 running backs will play in this offense.
Mm-hmm.
Richard Young is just as talented. He may even be a little more stronger between the tackles at the point of contact, more east and west guy, north and south. I mean, this guy, Richard, is no drop-off. There is no such thing as drop-off when you go to our third back. And I really, really feel like our running backs are being disrespected. I saw a list where Bama was like number 5 in running back rooms or 6 or something like that. Man, that is utterly ridiculous, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah, Richard Young will have a great season. He will play. Shout out to him for staying at Bama too.
Yeah, really good point. And you also had Daniel Hill and Kevin Riley who will be added on as well. I wanted to talk about Richard Young because every time we talk running backs, people are like, you slept on him. Hey, MRM, we appreciate you. What about the kid from Wake Forest or Arizona State, those 2 corners? So Ed Woods, the Arizona State corner, he committed to Michigan State. And then Deshaun Jones, who's out of Wake Forest, he will be in town this weekend, probably already here. And then Isaiah Hamilton, he's chosen to go to Ole Miss, which will be interesting. I talked about this before. He will probably be opposite side of Trey Amos, who was also from Alabama, right? And I'm still upset that he left because I liked Trey Amos's game. I don't know if he left for the bag or for whatever. He would have been the guy in the biggest spotlight in college football. I liked his game, Coach. But before we move to some other running backs, do you want to just chime in real quick on Trey Amos?
Yeah, it disgusts me, and I have no recollection of why this guy would want to leave at the time. You were going to be the top corner going into the next season. That points me to NIL, right? You were going to be the man at the cornerback spot. Maybe it was NIL. I don't know, Kyle. It's just a very, very, very frivolous situation to go from one SEC West team to another. And he'll be starting. So, next man up.
Yep. Okay, let's highlight Jam Miller and then Justice Haynes. So Jam Miller, this guy is being slept on. Like if the running back room as a whole is being slept on, that's ridiculous. But for anyone that doesn't know about Jam Miller, you had another taste of him this spring. I don't know why, like he's not on the cover of magazines or whatever, and that's fine because people, are going to find out about him eventually. Coach Jam Miller is like the man.
Yeah, Jam is an all-around balanced back, really good jump cut back. You may think you get penetration and it's over. Really good jump cut back. A lot of Josh Jacobs in there. I think he's just as physical as Josh Jacobs, running between the tackles at the second level. I don't think he has just as top end speed, but I do think they are extremely similar from handoff to the line of scrimmage. Very, very, very similar backs. Might be a little tougher at this stage, can take a little more hits, and that just becomes from repetition. You can definitely tell that Jam has played a little more, so he's a little more experienced, right? Justice gets a little beat up a little bit, and that'll come with more repetition playing the running back spot. But Jam is going to have a huge year. Watch out.
And then Justice Haynes. I mean, best footwork I've ever seen from a running back. His skill set is elite. We had a small taste of him in that the Rose Bowl game. People want to see more of him. He was actually the starting running back to start the second half. Spot played last year. I mean, sky's the limit for him. When you talk about running back, let me ask you this, Coach, since you're like a running back guy, who do you think that Justice Haynes is comparable to from, the great running backs in the world of football?
I like Justice Haynes like I like Christian McCaffrey. I say that because Christian runs with his pad. His pad level is great. That's where you want the pad level. He has no wasted motion from the time of point, what we call the handoff point, to the LOS, the line of scrimmage. Very decisive in where he's running. Sure-handed in the pass game. Will try to block you at least. Very, very, very Christian McCaffrey. If we use him in that manner, Justice can have just the type of same season. Christian is an all-around guy, man, tough between the tackles, has the speed to take that thing to the house, and Justice is the exact same. I think Christian might be a little taller, but very, very, very similar traits. Very similar traits.
Yeah, I love that comparison. I mean, we all know that I'm a 49ers fan, but Christian McCaffrey is like that guy. And he's also like when you talk about CMC, he has an ability to catch the football as well. I would imagine that Justice Haynes has that ability. And I think when you think about Washington's offense last year, you think about Michael Penix Jr. clearly, and you think about Rome Odunze and the wide receivers and the weapons that they have, but you forget that they have a 1,400-yard running back as well. So don't just think that these running backs are not going to be utilized. They will. And just like Coach said, 3 of those running backs are certainly going to play this year. All right, let's move to Ryan Williams. Recently, there were some comments by Coach Kalen DeBoer, very confident about, Ryan Williams. Said, I can't wait for him to get here, to make an impact this year. Look, he's been very optimistic about everything, but I mean, I think he's right. I mean, this is a special type of talent. I think he's still only 17 years old, and a lot of people are confused. He's not a early enrollee, so he's coming in the summertime, which is crazy to even think that he's not even here, and people already have such high expectations. Do you think he'll start? Is that too heavy of expectations? I mean, like, kind of let's zoom out and just talk Ryan Williams, because there's hype. He's the ultra hype that we've ever had. But with that said, there's never been a 2-time defending Mr. Football in the state of Alabama. He won the award when he was what 15 or 16?
Yeah.
So let's talk Ryan Williams.
Let me say this about Ryan. This is why I wanted this to be a topic. And this is no disrespect to the wide receivers we already have, who are great. These kids are really, really learning how to come out the breaks in full speed and attack the football. Something that I had identified that Coach Shepard actually said, right? I think Ryan, and this is not to belittle the talent we have, it's just to big up the talent we have coming in. Listen, man, I promise you, I think Ryan is going to be, I was hoping they'd give him give him a season, let him play in the spot duty, put some weight on him, right? Because he's very similar to how Devontae Smith was when he first came to Alabama. Very small frame. But let me explain something. Ryan Williams, the talent this kid has, he may be forced to be in the rotation. I mean, X or Z starting out. I really believe that if Ryan can come in and learn this offense and really, really, really be consistent in his approach, Ryan Williams will be playing in this offense on the first game. I promise you, he's that talent. The kid can get off press like no other. The kid, this is why I say this. This is why I want this to be a topic. What Ryan Williams does well, several of our receivers don't do well. And there's no disrespect. I gave this example a couple of shows ago. Let me give it again real quick. Let's just take a basic route, like a deep end. We call that a dig route. It's called a dig 10. Some people run it 8 to 10. Some people run it 10 to 15, depending on which you run a deep end or shallow deep end. We have receivers that when they make that cut, the free safety is right here. The free safety is right here on top of you. You have to identify where the free safety is. Is he in front of you? Is he on the side of you? Is he behind you? Our receivers just run the route and let the quarterback throw him open. Ryan Williams has been taught to attack the seam, attack the space. Wherever the free safety is, you attack where he isn't, right? The quarterback, don't worry about the quarterback throwing you open. Attack the route. And we call that at the top of the route. Ryan does that. We have some receivers right now that don't really do that. Ryan Williams attacked the top of the route, and that's how you get open. That's what made Devontae Smith absolutely outstanding. He attacked the top of the route, the end of the route. That's what Jermaine Burton didn't do. Jermaine Burton was a deep guy, but he never attacked the top of the route. Ryan Williams is going to place a lot of pressure on this coaching staff for playing time off the rip.
This is a really good question. What's up, Primetime Dog? We appreciate you. Does the Alabama offense require a lot of blocking from the wide receivers? This is usually the biggest hurdle to get on the field in the old Nick Saban offense. I'm not sure about that, but I think this is worth talking about because of this factor. When I think back to the Alabama wideouts, those guys, like with Devontae Smith, 165 pounds, Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, Jalen Waddle, you know what they did? Anytime one of those guys was breaking something long, even a running back, those guys were the best. Not only, I don't know if we'll ever have wide receivers like that again at the college football level. I think those were the greatest. That tandem when they were all four on here, it was insane. But what they did, stock blocking downfield, they were incredible, right, Coach? In terms of like their downfield blocking, it was amazing. That was the ride out mentality. They didn't just, run off their block. No, they were like downfield, stock blocking like I've never seen before.
That's an entire fact. Listen, and to answer his question, every wide receiver in college football on run plays has to block. You have
Yep.
to be able to block. A lot of those runs are to the perimeter. You have to be able to get the cornerback out of there, at least hold him up, at least create a lane. Every wide receiver has to be able to be at least efficient in
Mm-hmm.
blocking,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah, that's a whole fact. The rideouts took I guess they took pleasure in blocking for one another.
Yes.
They never argued about who was going to have the hot hand that day.
Mm-mm.
These guys took it as competition amongst one another. They loved one another. They praised one another when one another made the play and they didn't. They celebrated.
Yep.
Man, I just don't know if we'll ever have that again. I won't say we won't, but that was a perfect storm to have those guys who enjoyed blocking and enjoyed each other catching passes.
Yeah, coach, and I'll never forget about that group. They used to rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
See who would get like that. That's cold. I mean,
crazy.
That is cold. We'll never. I don't think we'll ever have a group like that.
Yeah, man, that's tough. Tough.
I feel like blessed to be able to watch that group because that was it. Like you were watching greatness at that time. As I said, coach, I got to take my son to work. Fatherly responsibilities, they're important to us. So fam, will you please take care of Coach Sean like you guys would take care of me? Does a really great job for us on Bama Football on YouTube. Coach, I'll leave the graphic on for you. And you just kind of do your thing, have the Alabama football go over kind of 1 through 5 again with the undefeated fam. And I will catch up with you guys soon or as news happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube.
Will do. I appreciate you. Shout out to the undefeated, man. Shout out to all you guys. Much love to you guys. Really excited to tap in and see how you're doing. Want to see you in here and acknowledge you and give you some love. Thank you for tapping in with me. Hit the like button if you guys can on your way in. Adam Lamparillo, my brother's in here. What's up, Adam? Jermaine Mims is in here. Sweet Home Bama 24. What's up with your brother? How you feeling? How you doing? Ricky Smith is in here. Matthew Newton is in here. Kevin Lynch, Roll Tide, brother. Chris from New Jersey, my favorite callers in here. OG Ephraim. What's up, Ephraim? How you doing, man? Good to see you, bro. Who else we got, man? Cotton is in here. What's up, Cotton? How you doing, brother? Jerry Hill is in here. What's up, Jerry? Roll Tide to you. MRM is in here. What's up, MRM? How you doing? Who else we got in here? Primetime Dog is in here. What's up, Primetime? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Matthew Newton is in here. What's up, Matthew Newton? Roll Tide to you, man. Good to see you in here, man. Hit that like button if you guys can on your way in. Robert Short Jr. is in here. What's up, Robert? Roll Tide to you, man. Good to see you. Goofball, my Brody is in here. What's up, Goofball? How you doing, man? Good to see you, Goofball. Eric Burrow is in here. Good morning to you, sir. How are you, man? Marcus McCants is in here. Roll Tide, Marcus. Good to see you, bro. For sure, man. Sweet Home Bama 24. My broski is in here. Carl Taylor's in here. What's up with you, Carl? How you doing, brother? Good to see you in here, man. Bill Robinson is in here. What's up, Bill? Roll Tide, brother. Vincent Brown is in here. David Marone. And like I said, my man Matthew Newton. Roll Tide to you all. Good to see you in on this beautiful day. Byron Walker, my brother's in here. Good to see all the undefeated tapped in, man. Much love to you. Shout out to Phoenix City from Vincent Brown. Good to see you guys, man. So again, just a quick overview again. These targets are very important, guys. They very, very, very important, man. We need depth, right? We need depth. I get what Adam was saying about the talent of the kids and the 5 stars. But again, man, how many guys have you seen that's as talented as Caleb Downs coming out of high school? And look what Texas did to him when they finally caught us on the hash mark. Let's see, my man Adam setting it off already. Shout out to Adam with the $10 super chat. Adam, you already know how we feel about you, brother. Much respect. Coach, I have to say I have learned so much football from you. You are a great analyst and evaluator of talent. Thanks for all you do, man. Thank you, Adam. Thank you for coming in with the really strong takes. We love that, man. I love opinions. I love, especially when guys can talk football, man. I love that. Thank you, brother. Thank you for that $10 super chat. I promise you the whole staff appreciate it. And I appreciate you and I hold you in very, very, very high regard. That's a whole fact. Yeah, man. I'm high on Xavier Brown, right? I'm exceptionally high. And I would be ecstatic if Xavier started, right? Love it. But what I'm saying is, what happens if Xavier unfortunately doesn't happen, get hurt? Who comes in at corner then? Do we put in Jalen Mbakwe? Jalen Mbakwe didn't even play corners last year in high school. He was a quarterback. So that's what I mean. We need depth, guys, because injuries happen at the most frivolous times. We need some guys that can step up, come in. We don't want to back up freshmen, starting freshmen with more freshmen, right? Now that bodes well for the future, but right now, man, with Georgia on the schedule, with a hungry Wisconsin team on the schedule that feel like they got something to prove, on the road at Tennessee, on the road at LSU, man, I just, that's tough. That's tough. These weekend targets are exceptionally important, guys. We need these guys to come in. We need these guys to really, really, really take a liking to Alabama and what we have to offer. Deshaun, I'd love to get him in here. Kobee, get him in here. Get these kids in here, and I would be ecstatic if we can get both of them. If we could get both of these kids, man, along with the young man we just got, Cameron Howard from Charlotte. Listen, I'll be satisfied with that. Let's rock. Let's rock. I'm cool with that. Getting Kobee Minior in here, a kid that has a lot of playing time in the Big Ten. This kid was honorable mention, all Big Ten. So he can play. The kid can play. Good size, 6'1", 185, around that height and size. Kid can play. Comes from a 4.25. Kid understands the intricacies of the 4.25, the vision coverage, how to play leverage, how to play shoulder leverage, offhand, near hand. He understands all the finer things it is to be successful in this defense, right? So I'm ecstatic, man. We really, really, really need these guys. Like, this is not a want thing, guys. This is not a want thing at this point. This is a need. Now, Bama, we're not in the need game a lot. We've been fortunate enough to not really have to be in the need category a lot. But I'm here to tell you, we are in the need category. You look at our safeties. You got Keon Sabb. You got Malachi back there. You got Devontae Smith, Rovin. You got Red Morgan, who's young. Do you guys? I mean, Red is talented. Don't get me wrong. Red may even start over Devontae Smith when the fall gets here. There's a possibility. There's a battle with him and Red Morgan right now. But I feel some kind of way going into great competition with young secondary help. I talked about this yesterday. It doesn't bother me the first game or two, right? It doesn't bother me the first game or two. It sort of kind of bothers me for Wisconsin because it's on the road, right? But going up against a guy, and I think Luke Fickell is a defensive guy, but when you start playing these offenses with these offensive head coaches, the South Florida head coach, right? They're not as talented as Alabama, but they could cause us some problems with a young secondary. They could cause us some problems. I talked about how when you're young, you could be a 5-star kid, right? Right, Adam? You could be the most talented 5-star kid. Come out in a bunch set. Come out in a spreaded Tennessee bunch set. Who's taking the inside receiver? Who's taking the outside receiver? What leverage do they play? What cover are they in, right? Vision coverage. Who's got the eyes on the quarterback? We're not playing pattern match anymore. We're playing vision coverage now. So we're not pattern matching anymore. Who's got who, right? When you're a freshman, it is exceptionally easy to get confused on that. Next thing you know, you got a ball going over your head for a touchdown. So we are in a state of need for cornerbacks right now, and that's a whole fact. Chris from New Jersey, coach says, Coach, Carmani hasn't signed. You know what, Chris? I don't want to. Let me see, how can I say this? Because I don't want to do the speculation thing. I'll just say there's people that think that kid's attitude is awful. And a lot of coaches back in the day, before this NIL stuff, would take a chance on a very bad attitude kid. Every coach feel like they can fix him. I'll fix him. He'll come here. With NIL and a kid like that, you just never know if he's going to say, the hell with it, I'm out, shoot you the deuces. So a lot of coaches have sort of kind of strayed away, right? The kid is talented as hell. The kid may be one of the best younger corners in the portal. The kid is long. He's like 6'2", 6'2", something like that. The kid can play, man. The kid is fast. He's aggressive. The kid is a hell of a cornerback, man. But it's a lot of coaches that don't want the quote unquote headache that may or may not come with it. Especially in this day and age. Coaches don't have no patience for that stuff, right? These kids can get pissed at you, sign with you on Wednesday, get pissed at you, and be in the portal on Friday. So it's tough. Do we need him? Yes. But I do say adding another young corner, right, who hadn't played. Now, I'm all for young corners who've played Kobee Minior. I'm all for that. I'm all for Cameron Howard. I'm all for guys, safeties and corners who've played that are young. It's tough to bring in these kids who didn't really play that much, who really didn't play at all, played in 2 games maybe, got redshirted because you didn't play in your 4. He's just as young as Zabian, right? You may or may not, you may have a tad bit more experience, right? So we are definitely in the state of need when it comes to cornerback. As far as that running back room, man, listen, we got disrespected on this list. They came up with a list saying top running back rooms in the country, and I think Bama was like 5th or 6th or something like that. I know we wasn't in the top 4. I know that. And I think that's just like a huge slap in the face, sort of more of the same, if you will. Man, it just amazes me, man. And this was on 3. This was on 3 if I'm not mistaken. I do believe this was on 3. To not have Alabama in that top 3 is utterly ridiculous to me. And maybe you guys at On 3 rank that based off who's coming back at these other schools, I guess, right? I can see where you maybe have ranked them because it's some guys in front of Bama with running backs who played last year. That doesn't mean they're better. That doesn't mean they're better at that position. Doesn't mean they're better at all, right? I would put Justice, Jam, Richard Young, just those 3. I'm not even talking about Daniel Hill, right? Who was a beast in his own right. You take those 3 backs from Bama and you put them against any 3 of those top 4 and 5, I'll take the Bama backs all day, every day, man. So to have Bama at 5th was, I just totally disagree with that, respectfully. Shout out to On 3, whatever, you know. But maybe I would have respected it more if it said best returning running back fields or something like that, right? If that's what it said, cool, y'all got it right. But if you're talking about sheer talent, right? Things that you're projecting to this season, care what you did last season or just individual talent of each running back collectively as a whole, collectively, right? Individually, but put them together. I'll take Bama every day, all day, every day, all day. I'll take Justice over most of those backs on those other rosters. I'll take Jam over most of those backs on other rosters. I'll take Richard Young over most of those backs on other rosters. I'll take Daniel Hill. I get what you're saying. Well, some of them hadn't did it in the game. Some of them hadn't did it in the game. I get that. And if that's your criteria, so be it. Shout out to you. But if you're basing it off individual talent, projections of what you can see these kids may do, I'll take Bama every day, all day. Shout out to Patriot Life. Roll Tide, Patriot Life. Just saw you in there, man. My broski from another Moski. How you doing, Rob, man? Good to see you, bro. Glad you in here, man. As far as Ryan Williams goes, guys, listen. And I don't want to disrespect our receivers, man. We got some great receivers, man. You guys know I did a video back in the summer on Kobee Prentice. I said Kobee was going to have a great season this year, and he has. He had a great A-Day. I think Kobee is primed to take another step. I think Kendrick Law, if they can get him the ball, is primed to take another step, right? I think you get a Jalen Hale back, who's injured. This kid is going to be in. Jalen's probably a starter, right? Jalen going into the season would have probably been one of the most talented receivers on this roster, man. We all know Jeremy Bernard. We saw what he did in A-Day. We saw this kid's potential. But what I'm saying is our receivers just still have a little work to do in the pass catching department. We still having too many drops at this point. I think it's a concentration thing. I think our backs are thinking too much. Shout out to OG Jay Townsend. What's up, Jay? Man, it's good to see you, bro. How you feeling, Jay? Boys, I'm glad you're in here. Having you and Patriot Life at the same time. That's a good day right there, bro. That's a good day. Shout out to Jay Townsend too, man. Roll Tide to the OG. Listen, Jay. Listen, Patriot Life. We still got too many drops. We still have some concentration issues in our receivers. We still got some kids that are thinking too much, right? I had a lot of people hit me in the inbox a while back, it was about 2 weeks ago, asking me to explain what I meant by the top of the route. Is that Patriot Life? Shout out to Patriot Life, man, with the $10 super chat. My brother, good morning, Saturday morning, man. Roll Tide, man. Roll Tide to you, Patriot Life, bro. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. You already know how that go, bro. We appreciate you, man. Thank you for that, brother. Roll Tide, man. Hope your day go well. Yard work is waiting on Coach Sean. You know what I'm saying? Go out here and mow this side, bro. It's looking kind of utterly ridiculous right now. But we're going to try to clean that up here as soon as this segment is over. Right. Thank you, Patriot Life. Roll Tide to you, man. For sure, for sure. So what I meant by that, though, guys, as I explained a couple of times, I was trying to find the best way to explain that, man, without confusing anybody. Everybody loves Ebony. What's up with you, girl? How you feeling? I'm so glad to see you. So glad to see you, man. Thank you. Everybody loves Ebony. Good to see you in here, girl, for sure. Jimmy Baker is up in here. Matthew Newton, Betsy is in here. Roll Tide to you all, man. OG Ephraim, Adam, Rob, Rutherford. What's up, Rob? Roll Tide, man. How you doing, bro? How you doing, Rob? Good to see you, brother. You know what I'm saying? Brock Roll Tide Roll is in here. I ain't see you, brother. I had to acknowledge you guys, bro. You know, Roll Tide to you, man. So what I was saying, guys, is I'm trying to think, how can I say this to make people really, really grasp what I was saying, man? Mr. B, 205. What's up with you, brother? Roll Tide, man. Shout out to the 205. Dino, what up with you, bro? Oh man, Katrina Blackman, my sis is in here. What's up, Katrina? Roll Tide to you. So glad to see you up in here for sure. Good to see you, man. Got the homie Rob Rutherford in here and Katrina. You know, that's a good day, man. That's a good day. Got the bro Jimmy Baker in here. Man, that's a good day right there, brother. Shout out to all of you, brother, for sure. I guess Jay Mims, what's up, bro? I take a dig route because dig route is very simple, right? It's easy to explain with a deep end. We call it dig. Some people call it deep end. Pros call it digs. Slant and go. It's a route we call slant and go. Pros call it sluggo. College, we call it slant and go, right? You go to the NFL, they'll call it a sluggo. Let's just take the deep end. Deep end is you start off, DB in front of you, you push vertical. You push vertical. Some will tell you push to the outside shoulder. Some will tell you just push the DB off the line of scrimmage, right? Everybody teach it a little differently, right? You push vertical. Now, I didn't play wide receiver, right? Coach Smook played wide receiver. I didn't play wide receiver, but I know enough about it from teaching it that I do know the basics of it. You pushing vertical, right? When you hit that and you slant in, you break down, you come out of your break, and boom, you go in like an L, boom, like an N, deep in, dig route. You don't round it. It's not lazy. It's full speed push, breakdown, and to straight inside like an L, boom, boom, right? Pretty much think of an L. That's what they're doing. Not a U, but an L, like Otto Man, boom, boom, quick, right? That's the difference in the great receivers and the good receivers. The great receivers like Devontae Smith route running, that kid would push vertical and make you think he's going vertical. All of a sudden, wham, he sink his hips, and cut inside, on a dime, right? DB can't recover. He's wide open. Some receivers are lazy. They don't know how to break down. They just round it really slowly. DB can keep up with them. They're not open, right? That's what's happening with our receivers right now. They don't attack the top of the route. The top, meaning the top part of the dig, the L part. When you come out of that break and you going on the top part of your route, you have to attack that just as fast as you did the vertical, right? When you release off the line of scrimmage, you're releasing off full speed to make the DB think you're going deep. You break down and you push inside, right? You don't push inside and jog, right? Because you give the defensive back time to recover in college football. See, in high school, you can do that and still be open. In college, if you give that defensive back time enough to gather himself and recover, he'll push vertical and gamble and either intercept your pass or you won't be open. Our receivers have to learn how to attack the top of the route. And this is what Coach Shep said. Same thing. I saw it in the 8A game. So you take a kid like Ryan Williams, go look at his tape. And I know that's high school, but you don't look at the competition. You look at him. When you're watching film, don't worry about who he's going against. Watch him. When this kid run deep routes, run deep ends, digs, man, he sink his hips. They teach you to sink your hips, lower your body weight. This kid attacked the top of the route. I mean, he attacked it like he running full speed across the field. That's how he's so open, right? No, Cotton, I'm talking about a deep end right now. I'm talking about a dig. I know what a sluggo is. I just said that. A sluggo is a slant and go. That's why it's called sluggo. Right now, I'm talking about a dig route, a deep end. I'm talking about a dig route, right? That's what I'm speaking on. I want to keep it simple. A sluggo is a slant and go. That's exactly what a sluggo is, you know. So when these kids attack the top of the route, man, they have to learn how to be aggressive, right? Where's the free safety at? Where's the safety? Is he on your hip? Is he behind you? Is he in front of you? When you attack that dig, you got to know where the safety is. You just can't just run the route and worry about the quarterback throwing you open. Some quarterbacks can do that, right? Get open. Devontae Smith was different. He understood leverage. He understood when I attack this deep end, right? He attacked the top of the route, man. He knew how to set the safety up. If he's in front of him, he'd slow down. If he's behind him, he'd accelerate. If he's on his hip, he'd accelerate. He knew exactly how to attack the spacing of the route at its highest peak, right? So that's the difference, man. That's the difference in good receivers and great receivers. That is the difference. I promise you, man. If you guys go back and look, Henry Ruggs was not a great route runner, right? He didn't really attack the top of the route. Henry was just faster than everybody. Kid ran a damn 4.2, right? You can run a lazy route with a 4.2 and still be open. He didn't have to actually run the route perfectly. He could just circle that thing and just accelerate and still be open. Everybody don't run 4.2s, right? Jerry Jeudy probably had the most violent route running ability that I've ever seen outside of Amari Cooper. Those South Florida kids, they teach that in their 7-on-7. If you go look at those South Florida kids, they all got good knees. Every last one of them. They all got good knees. I promise you. When I say good knees, look at the South Florida kids. Look at the Amari Coopers, the Jerry Judys, and these receivers that come from the Calvin Ridleys. Look at how these kids run their route. When they run their route and they plant their foot, it's almost like they breaking their back. It almost looks violent almost, right? That is selling the route. That is selling the route to the defensive back, right? You can't tell they're going to cut. You can't tell if they're going to run the route, cut. So when you covering these guys, you have to be cautious. The defensive back is always nervous, right? So that is what we have to have. And I think Ryan Williams has it. I think Ryan Williams has it. That's a fact, Cotton. That's a fact. So, yeah, everybody loves Ebony. Facts. Calvin Ridley used to look like he was breaking his legs when he was running the route. Same with Amari. Go back and watch some of those Amari Cooper routes. Deadly, right? Marcus McCann's Roll Tide. Mark, that's a beautiful picture right there, Mark, man. I like that, Marcus, bro. $5 super chat. Hey, coach, what about Rico Scott? That's a good question. Shout out to Marcus McCann's. First of all, Marcus, $5 super chat. Thank you so much for that, man. Roll Tide to you, Marcus. Rico Scott is another one. Rico is a little more physical than Ryan, though. Rico plays some running back, bigger kid, a little more physical, kid that can really go up vertically and challenge you in the red zone. I would love to see what that kid's vertical is. That kid probably looked like he jumped a 40-inch vertical. Rico is a little more physical. I don't think he's as polished as a route runner as Ryan, but I think he's a little more physical at this stage of their careers. Rico is another one that could come in here and play. These receivers that we're getting from high school are ready. They're ready in this offense. This offense will throw them open. This is not the pass offenses to where you run the route and we just hope you open and Jalen have to throw into coverage. Nah, this is an offense that specializes in attacking the safety and make the safety make a decision. This is an offense that will run to his toes for one route and break the other way on a post corner on another whole another route. And the only people that know it is the quarterback. And it all depends on where the safety's lined up and who the safety's going to cover on release. Right? I love that. I love that. I love that. Let me say it again, because we hadn't done that since Sark and Lane. When have y'all seen us throw screen passes? People can blitz Jalen Milroe, and we don't even throw a damn screen. I'm talking about from youth league. The play you run when you're getting a lot of pressure is screens. That keeps the pressure from overloading and coming at you. When you can run a screen and dump that thing off, it makes the defensive think twice before they pin their ears back. Screens are 101 for pressure. That's what they're for. So I love the fact that we're running this offense. Shout out to Marcus McCants, $5 super chat. Rico Scott gonna be good too. That's a whole fact. Yeah, somebody beating me cutting the grass. I don't like that. Yes, it's a competition. It sure is. I'm definitely finna cut my grass now. They didn't beat me. So shout out to Adam Lamparillo, $10 super chat. If there are 4 wide receivers and one on each side runs mid to deep slant, and the other 2 run short to mid crossing routes with the running back coming out of the backfield, how do you defend? Well, that goes back to Adam. That's a good question, but here's what I would say to you, Adam. That sort of goes back to what we were talking about yesterday. Remember when you were saying the running backs were open out the backfield? Of course they were. When you play a 4-2-5 shell, you don't worry about things in the flats. You don't worry about that. They could throw the running back open all day long. We don't even worry about him, right? We don't even care, right? Spot a quarterback. Make sure the QB don't take off on us. Don't give up nothing deep. Keep everything zoned up in front of us. We good. That's how you beat Alabama last year. So, fact, we don't care that the running back's wide open. Who cares? Let him stay open. Y'all don't even throw it to him enough on film for us to even guard him. That's why I was trying to tell you, Adam, that sometimes the TV will fool you, right? You have to understand schematically what they're doing. Nobody's worried about Alabama dumping the football off to a running back. Our running back was open all year. You know why? Because they know, 1, we're not going to do it. And 2, we're not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? Film study teaches you everything you want to know, Adam. Film study is what it is, brother. When you said that the running back was open all game, I agree with you, right? Michigan didn't worry about that. Film study taught them not to. And you see why. How many times did we throw to the running back when he was open? Do you see where I'm going? Film study, Adam. When you play each other, this is how it goes. If I'm Michigan and we got to play Alabama next Saturday in the national championship, we're watching all Alabama's tape right now. We're watching from South Florida all the way to Georgia, every single game, tendencies. If I'm a defensive player, I'm watching the offense. I'm watching what they do. I got a percentage of how many times they throw to the running back. I got a percentage of who's their top running back. I know how many times you throw to number whoever. We know who your top receiver is. We watch everything you guys do every single game. That's how you put the game plan together, right? So when you say the running back was open all game, that was strictly by design. They weren't going to cover the running back. I wouldn't have either. We don't care that your running back was open. We know you can't beat us like that. We're going to keep everything in the middle of the field. We're not going to let you beat us deep, right? And we're going to stop the run and put pressure. We're going to pick on your tackles. We're going to run twists and stunts to beat your inside guys, which they did. And we'll let the chips fall where they may. That's coaching 101. That's the same thing I would have done in Alabama, right? They hadn't seen a team to twist and stunt like this team, right? We're going to twist them to death. We're going to make Tyler Booker and Jaden Robinson pass off. We're going to do everything we can do to put those interior guys in pass rushing situations. And it's not even a pass rush. We're just going to twist you to death on 1st and 10. And that's what they did. After we twist you to death, then we're going to attack you on the outside. We're going to blitz and make your tackle pick somebody. You're going to pick the defensive end, or you're going to pick the corner that's blitzing or rover that's blitzing. Pick one. They did it all, right? We had no answer. Our running backs couldn't block, couldn't chip. Our quarterback was under duress the whole entire game. Our receivers couldn't separate at all, right? We're not competent enough to throw a screen pass to get them out of that. We're not competent enough to run student bodies off tackle to make them come down into the box to open the pass game up. We're not competent. We're running 5 wide and letting our quarterback run the ball every time, which is what they depended on because they spied him and they stopped him. We got beat in the coaching room before we even took the field. So you can't put that on nobody. We just got our asses whipped, right? We got belt to ass us, right? And that's the fact. The TV will lie to you, right? Michigan came out in 12 personnel, 11 personnel, and did what they usually do. They didn't do nothing special, right? They didn't have no special game plan. No. So it is what it is, brothers. So getting back to Ryan, I think Ryan is going to play. I really believe that. I appreciate you, Adam. It's all love, brother. You know how we do. Man. We're going to match. We're going to take notes together. We're going to put our notes together and talk about it. It's a fact. That's how you beat Alabama last year. The crazy thing about it, though, Adam, that you might laugh about, Michigan's game plan, believe this or not, was very similar to a team whose ass we whipped. It was very similar to Kentucky's, believe it or not. Well, you Coach Sean, we beat Kentucky like a drum. True. The difference is when we ran those deep routes and those post corners against Kentucky, the safety couldn't keep up with the receiver. Kobee Minior, 8. We ran them against Michigan. Keon Sabb and them boys wasn't going for it. We wasn't going for it. We're not going to let Jalen Milroe. Kentucky was so afraid of Jalen Milroe running that the safety would get lost in coverage, and Kobee would be wide open every time, right? Jalen Milroe had a great game. That's how it's supposed to work for our end. That's how it's supposed to work. Right? You play coverage. We got a running quarterback. He acts like he's going to keep it. Your safeties come up. We beat you over the top. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Michigan was like, no. We don't give a damn what he do up front. We're going to cover the receivers. We'll let our front 7 take care of you. And that's what they did. What did Tommy Rees do in rebuttal to that? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Caden Proctor was on a bum ankle. They knew it. Blitz this kid, blitz the left tackle, bring pressure, right? Remember, it's a difference in pass rush and blitz. A lot of people don't know that. Pass rushing and blitzing is 2 different things. Rushing the passer with your front 4, that's just a basic rush. This is basic. Blitzing is you bring extra people. Right? Make their tackle make a decision, right? This is where your quarterback is supposed to. I know sometimes you can't see it because they'll disguise it, right, guys? But this is where the protection comes into play, right? If we're getting beat on our left tackle, the protection have to be on the left side to help out Caden, right? If we're getting twists throughout the game. Our tackle. So what do you do? If your guards are getting their asses whipped with twists? If your tackles are getting their asses whipped with pressure coming from here and there, what do you do as an offensive person? Now, I'm an offensive guy. You know what I'm saying? What do you do? I'll tell you what I do, right? Run a screen pass. Just one. Screens are the kind of plays where you don't have to run a lot of them. You can't run a lot of them, but you don't have, all you got to do is hit one for a big gain, 20, 30 yards. They'll slow up. They'll pull those reins back on that pressure. Screens are those things that make coaches on defense lose their mind. You hit a screen pass for 20, 30 yards, they're going to be very cautious the next time they blitz you. It's a chess game. We're not worried about your running back going out the backfield. We don't care about that. We don't even want to cover him. We don't care. We're not even going to cover that guy, bro. We're going to make sure you don't beat us deep. We're going to make sure your quarterback don't take off running. Your run game is not going to whip us up front. A la what happened. Bama Jeff 79. He said, I don't know, Coach Sean. Miro had throws underneath that he either didn't see or didn't execute the throw. Michigan took away the deep and gave up the shirt to intermediate, which is fan. I mean, fact, that's I mean, Jeff, we're kind of saying the same thing. We're kind of saying the same thing, Jeff. But remember this, Jeff. This is what fans forget. And I think Peyton Manning said it best. Once you've been hit, just about every play, you start seeing ghosts, man. When you play quarterback and you've been hit practically every damn play, your eyes tend to do this. On said hut, you don't look downfield. You start looking at the line of scrimmage. Do you see what I'm saying? That's just normal. That's normal as the day is blue, as the sky is blue, right? Once you've been, and remember, our first series of the game on offense, we took a damn sack and lost 15 yards. So when you've been hit 20-something times in that game, sacked, 5, 6 times, hit 20-something times, your eyes don't do what they're supposed to do anymore. Your eyes on hike is supposed to look intermediate, check one. You have reads, 1, 2, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, things like that. Your eyes don't do that. And it's just normal. This the pros too. Once you've been hit that many times, guys, your eyes start watching the pass rush first. You start watching to see who's coming. Those few seconds you watch the pass rush, your receivers now not open anymore, especially against a defense that had a team that's got 15 seniors, right? It's just football, guys. Marcus McCants, $5 super chat. Coach, I think if we had another offensive coordinator last year, we beat Michigan. What do you think? I think if we had Sark or Lane, we beat Michigan. It's a whole fact because we played terrible and still almost won. Right? For the people that beat up Jalen Miro, think about this. We gave up 43 sacks, which is an Alabama record last year. Our offensive line was 120th in pressure given up. We were one of the worst in the country of keeping that boy clean, and we still made it to the college football playoff. What other team can do that? See, when you're a coach, that's how you think. You don't think like a fan. You think like that. Kirby Smart right now is knowing. He don't care what the Georgia fans say. He knows Alabama offensive line was terrible last year. They performed terrible, right? The receivers dropped balls. The receivers had problems getting open. Jalen had problems at times with intermediate accuracy. Jalen had problems at times seeing the field. They can't block. They can't pass block. Sometimes they couldn't run block. And they still made it to the college football playoff, only losing to 2 other college football playoff teams. So what you should be ecstatic about is if we just sure that up a little bit, right? Let's cut the 43 sacks down to 27, 22, right? If we just sure it up a little bit, another trophy is going to be in Alabama's case. Another trophy is going to be in the University of Alabama's case. That's a whole fact. Lynn Shannonfeld said it best. Thank you, Marcus. Roll Tide to you, brother. Thank you. Lynn Shannonfeld says bad snaps, head down, getting hit. Thank you, Lynn. See, you can always tell the ones who played this. See, if I didn't know Lynn, I would, from that comment, I would know, yeah, he played ball because he understands. When you're watching from home, you think it's just like Madden. Well, why can't he see it? If I'm constantly hitting you from the blind side over and over and over again, let me tell you what your eyes going to start doing. You're going to look for me this time. You're going to look for me this time. It's just normal. You're going to look for me, right? What Lynn said is 1,000% correct. You already hiking me the ball on the damn ground. I got to look down and pick it up. When I look up, the plays move fast in college football, guy. I mean, it's like hike, play over. When you're playing a position, it's quick, man. Lynn will tell you that it's quick. It's fast. So if you put your head down even for a second or two, your whole everything is off. Everything is, especially when you run that kind of offense we had last year, timing, everything is off, man. And then when you don't hike me the ball right, I'm still getting pressure. I'm getting hit, right? So when I finally do get a good snap and finally do get some great blocking, now I'm all screwed up. I overthrow the player. I don't even see him. I don't even look at him because I'm so busy trying to make sure I don't get my ass knocked out again. So it all works together, guys. It all works together. Bad snaps, head down, and especially getting hit. If you do that enough to a quarterback, any quarterback, that quarterback's gonna have a bad day. And we went through a lot of that last year. When your quarterback, when we give up 43 sacks, man, on a season, and some of those were Jalen Milroe's fault, right? Holding the ball too long. But a lot of them wouldn't, right? A lot of our freshman left tackle gave up a lot of sacks last year, right? Not just our freshman left tackles, a lot of offensive linemen gave up sacks last year. Tyler Booker, being the leader of this team, will tell you, I didn't play well in Michigan. I didn't. So we got to sure that up, man. And the one thing that I love about this offense that will sure that up, Lynn, you'll get this. Coach Al, what's up, brother? They'll get this. Is counteraction. Now you can't just rush me like you really want, like you want to, when we running pin and pull and counters and play actions off the counters and things of that nature. Now you got to hesitate just a little bit because you might be rushing for nothing. You might be rushing for nothing. Pre-snap reads, right? So whatever defense you're trying to line up in to stop us, we're not even running that offense, right? We just lined up that way to get you all discombobulated. Pre-snap reads, motions, bringing guys across the formation, to the formation. Stuff like that is what helps a quarterback, guys. Things like that are what helps a quarterback. Not just lining up in 5 wide, 4 wide, saying hike. You run a dig, you run a high, y'all two run a high-low, you run a mesh route, and just let me drop back there and trying to find who's open. That's a remedy for destruction. We done that against Texas, right? What? So, Lynn says, if we get a good snap, last play of the game against Michigan, Jalen walks. That's a whole fact. Inside zone, guard, the backside guard pulls front side, which was Jaden Roberts. That's your convoy right there. He walks into the end zone if the snap is good. He don't even get touched, bro. Backside guard, meaning the backside, meaning the way the play isn't supposed to go. Backside meaning you on the outside of the play. Backside guard pulls front side. All Jalen got to do is follow him, right? But we're playing bowling though. See, we're not hiking the ball. We're playing bowling, right? We got to reach down and grab the bowling ball off the damn ground instead of off the machine, right? After that, the play is over, brother. Jalen panicked. I got to just try to make something happen. We failed. But I will say this, I really believe as bad as we played, the positive is, guys, as bad as we play, and this is taking nothing from Michigan. I hope no Michigan fan think I'm taking nothing from them, man. As bad as Alabama played, we still had a chance to win that game. That's the part that irks with me. As bad as we blocked, as bad as the play calling was, brother, I remember it was 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2. And we called a dadgum. I don't know if it was like the shotgun quick where the receiver just lines up, takes a step, turns around, right? And when he did that, it didn't fool nobody, right? The corner just reacted up really fast, so Jalen had to keep it. I'm like, what? That's why I don't like rehashing that game. It bothers me. Like, that was the most ridiculous. There was a panic call. I've coached long enough to know when you get calls like that, that's what we call panic calls, meaning somebody's hurrying you up. Get Coach Al, Lynn, get the play in, and you just call something. Right? Knowing that's not what you really wanted to play. You're totally unprepared for that situation. You're supposed to have 3rd and 2 plays, 3rd and short plays, 3rd and long plays. Al and Lynn, they know that's one of those panic plays. We just lost some yards. You're just trying to get a play in. You're trying to get a play, so you just call something. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work, man. King Family Reacts. How you doing, brother? Roll Tide. Much love to you back, man. Good to see you. Good to see you, man. Roll Tide to you, bro. We just talking about a little football here. Little Alabama football Q&A, talking about the Michigan game, rehashing it with the undefeated and some great people in the undefeated. Lynn says, plus our defense did let us down as well. Michigan, oh man, we didn't even talk about that. Right? And Coach Al says, in that case, Coach Sean, slow yourself down and call a timeout. All freaking facts. All facts. You better do that. This the part that pissed me off, though, before I go to defense. Did you guys remember they put Justice Haynes in? Clearly, they didn't watch film on Justice. They had no tendencies, nothing on Justice, right? All right, just another running back. We'll stop him. Justice, with the jump cut ability that Jace and Roy Dale weren't, Jace was your I call it zone back, you know what I mean? Stretch zone type guy, right? Roy Dale being more of your north and south guy. Justice is that jump cut cat that if you give him a crease, he'll pop that thing, man. They put Justice Haynes in the game, and because they had focused so much on Jace, they totally weren't ready for that running style. Justice averaged probably about 4 or 5 yards every time he touched the ball. We drove right down the damn field, and guess what they done? Pull him out. I just dropped my pen, by the way. We drove the ball down the field. Right? Justice was killing them. No, we done. Got to the red zone or somewhere near the red zone and pulled him out. Bro, I don't understand. All facts, Coach, about putting Justice in. He had better vision. Yeah, because you know how it is, Coach Al. They done focused all week on Jace. They know what Jace do. They know his tendency. They know what he like to do. They know Roy Dale. He going to go north and south. He ain't going to wiggle you. They done focused on this the whole practice, all the practice time. Justice coming with that jump cut ability. As soon as he get the handoff, they was not ready for that, man. The boy was killing them. 3 yards, 5 yards, 6 yards, 4 yards, 2 yards, 6 yards. You know what we done? Took him out the game. I can't make this up, brother. I can't make this up. And then that's a whole fact, Adam. We got down there. We did 3 straight passes. This is why I say, bro, you have to look at the play calling. This is why I love Coach DeBoer, because Coach DeBoer don't just call plays for down and distance. He does not call plays for down and distance. He called plays based off what you line up in. Where is your strong? Where is your safety? Where the real good offensive coaches know how and where to attack you. They've watched film. They know which corner don't tackle well. They know which safety get antsy. They know which linebacker get caught up in the wash. They know which defensive lineman get tired and ain't going to go hard. They know this from film study. Coach Al, Lynn, King Family Reacts, these guys will tell you. Ephraim, these guys will tell you. The good offensive coordinators know where to attack you, brother. Oh, yeah, on film, number 50, yeah, he'll get tired. His hands on his hips, he ain't going to go hard. He'll just lean on the offensive line. They'll do this, I promise you. Oh, that safety right there, he ain't going to want to tackle. He whiffed on too many tackles. He an arm tackle. He don't want to contact. So they'll go at him. This is normal, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And Jace wasn't 100%. That's a fact, King family. So it's just like a lot of these wounds that we had, guys, were self-inflicted, taking none from Michigan. They were and that's the frustrating part. That is the frustrating part, brother. It really, really is, right? In closing, I'll say this. Michigan beat us by doing nothing that they hadn't been doing all season. They didn't do this special thing. They just came out. They did to us what everybody did to us, attack us at certain spots on the offensive line. William Chun, Roll Tide. William, how you doing, man? They just lined up and did it better than us. I mean, and I will say this is what happens when you have a team who comes back to school. Ask Mac Jones and Devontae Smith and Najee Harris and Jalen Waddle and All these guys, Alex Leatherwood and all these cats. This is what happens when kids don't go to the NFL draft and come back for COVID years. And, you know, you don't have freshmen starting at corner. You got seniors, fourth year, fifth year seniors. And, you know, a kid like Keon Sabb is so talented that he's still the third safety, right? Because these other two dudes been there for 4 and 5 years. That's what happens when you have an older team. For God's sakes, Michigan had 18 people at the damn combine. If I'm not mistaken, it was 16 or 18 kids at the combine. They had 14 drafted. That was an old team. One of the oldest teams, if not the oldest, in college football, man. I'm good, William. Blessed, man. Blessed, brother. Blessed and highly favored. Good to see you, man. For sure. You know, Tommy Reese, man. Shout out to Sweet Home Bama 24. I just feel like Tommy Reese Notre Damed us. Have you guys noticed how we look against Michigan is how Notre Dame look against us when we played them 3 years prior? Think about what I just said when Najee jumped over the dude's head. Think about how we looked against Michigan. Think about how Notre Dame looked against us. Any similarities? No screens. Beating our head against the wall with ridiculous calls. Right? Go look at when we played Notre Dame the year that what year was that, man? We played Notre Dame in the first round. I think we played Clemson or Georgia in the finals. When Najee jumped over the dude's head, that might have been 2000. Was that the year we won? I can't remember. We played Notre Dame in the first round, beat them. And then we played Ohio State in the finals, I think. That may have been 2021, maybe. Right? I think that's the year we played. Is that the same? Is that the COVID year? I can't remember, man. No, that wasn't the COVID year. Whatever year it was, right? The year when Najee leapfrog dude that played for the Ravens right now, the safety, the big tall safety. That year. Look at how Notre Dame's offense looked against us. Look at how we looked against Michigan. Any similarities? Several. So it's crazy, guys. It's crazy, man. Burrow, Stetson Bennett, etc. All these experience. Yeah. Facts, Bradley. Facts. That is what I always say, guys. Experience is finite, man. I love your stars. Love your stars, right? But experience is finite, man. Without it, it's a reason why Michigan won that game, man. Juvie 86, what's up, bro? Good to see you, bro. Demetrius Dugans, how y'all boys doing, man? Lance Hunter, Bradley D, Deborah Rothschild, Nick G's, Byron Walker. Bro, tired of y'all, man. And yes, I did start that channel, JMHO. What is it called? JMHO Sports. That's what it's called on YouTube. JMHO Sports. Just type in JMHO Sports. I have nothing on there yet because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm supposed to get with Ty and Smook and all these other people to show me. I am lost in the sauce when it comes to that. So I'll be putting content up here as soon as I get it. Got a lot of people that want to tap in with me. A lot of other content creators that's hitting me up. Some of my guys that Ty's hooking me up with, and my boy from LSU dad. We're gonna get on there together and argue about LSU and Bama and just have a good time, man. Have a good time. I appreciate you, Demetrius. Much love, man. You'll see the notification come out when I put something up there. I got to quiet. Yeah, thank you, Al. Thank you. I just don't know what I'm doing. I still had to wait 24 hours before I can go live or something. So I gotta do all of that, and shouldn't have but a few more hours to go, and then I'll be able to play with it and learn what I'm doing. We're gonna have a lot of dudes come in, and I like having round tables with other fans and talking about it and debating. And Ty is like a master debater, right? That is Ty's strong point. This kid will kill you when he's debating. Ty is absolutely amazing at that. We're gonna have Merrill and everybody gonna be on there, man. We're gonna be going at it with other fan bases and just really, really tapping in and just having a good time, all in fun, man. I appreciate you guys. But yeah, man. Yeah, facts, Rocket Town, facts, brother. I gotta hear facts. I got a long way to go, man, but I'm gonna get there in a short time. I promise you. Um, that's the facts. We home, Bama. Look, let me put that comment up, man. Thank you, Coach Al. Our offense against Michigan looked like Notre Dame offense of 2012. Listen, if you watch the Notre Dame offense, and I know Tommy wasn't the offensive coordinator through all of those years. He was a quarterbacks coach, OC. The approach they took to winning the game was very similar to how we did against Michigan. Very lackadaisical, very almost backyardish. Let me just try something. No pattern to what you're trying to do. See, that's why I love Sark and Lane. These guys always set you up for other things. Sark is a master at running one play, right? And Al and them will tell you this. Al, Lynn, these guys will tell you this. Sark, Adam Lamparillo, he'll tell you. Sark will show you a formation, run a play, right? Have some success. He'll write it down. Okay, we picked up 30 yards on that play. Bet. He'll come back 2 series later, line up in the same formation. Defense like, bet. Watch for this, watch for that, and run something totally different. The other way. Counter. Now you all out of position, right? And this is what he does. This is what he does, man. This is what he does, man. This Sark, he's constantly trying to stay one step ahead of the defense, right? That's Lane. These guys will show you formation, right? Have some success, come back to the same formation and run a whole nother play, right? Possibly a whole nother way, right? Pin and pull, a lot of pre-snap formations, just a lot of different things to make the defense hesitate just for a little bit. Right. And that's enough to be successful on offense in college football. Jay Mims say, Coach Sean, let's see. I would love to see you do it. SEC. Yeah, man, we're gonna try to get it together, man. I got a little connection with a couple of guys who've been hitting me and just want to sit down and talk ball. And what I do is when I go on these dudes' YouTube pages and I get a team love, I don't be in there trolling and all that stuff. I like Oklahoma. Went in there and gave them love. Like, man, y'all straight, man. We're gonna have to come with it. You get them respect. Like, you still be a Bama fan, but you tell them, we understand that Oklahoma is a losable game if we don't come to play. That's all you got to say, right? And they'll respect you for that. You don't be in there dissing their team and all of this because their fans are just like ours. They don't want to hear that, right? They'll talk football with you all day. I'm just not into trolling and doing all that stuff. I like talking football. I'm just a football guy, bro. That's all I am. I don't want to do nothing else but talk football. That's all I want to do. Yeah, facts, man. Thank you, though, brother. I appreciate that, Jay Mims. Yeah, Sark and Lane, man. That's why I love those guys, Al, because look at the Ohio State game. I know that was the COVID year and all of that. But if you guys remember, Ohio State's defense was very, very good that year. They only played 6 games, but they dominated the Big Ten. Look what Sark. For God's sakes, Devontae Smith had 250 in the first half, man. They actually tried to play us in a 4-4, one safety high with Devontae Smith and a limping Jalen Waddle. That was an L. That was an L, a big one. I tell my Ohio State buddies, instead of telling me what y'all could have done, you should be thankful that Devontae didn't play the second half. Well, he'd still be scoring in 2024, straight up. What's up, Chance Fawcett? How you doing, brother? Roll Tide, man. I appreciate you, Matthew. Much love, my brother. Thank you for that, bro. It's a little blank right now, but I'm getting there. Just bear with me. The notifications will come out, brother, and you guys will all see it. I promise you. It'll be about another week. I'm gonna take off on Thursday of next week and with some guys, and I'm gonna sit down and really, really beat the pavement and learn what that stuff is, and get that thing going. Cotton says, truth, Coach Sean. Come on, Orange Bloods, OTL. Man, I appreciate you, Cotton. Roll Tide, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. That's the whole facts. Shout out to Orange Bloods, man. Shout out to Orange Bloods. Shout out to Coach Sark, man. That dude is an offensive genius. Watch Coach Sark, bro. Watch Coach Sark. Whenever they have some success or when they have a bad play, he'll write it down. He have a little notepad, look, writing it down. What that is he's going back to that play later on or not, right? Second half adjustments, he's coming out. These are the plays that we've had some success, right? It's a chess match, guys. Coach Al will tell you that. All these guys in the chat will tell you that. It's a chess match, man. And when you don't have the right coaches moving the right pieces, you end up being a couple of steps behind. Yeah, Devontae. You know what, Adam? It's almost hard for me to watch those teams with Devontae Smith and Henry Ruggs and Jerry Jeudy and Jalen Waddle. It's almost hard for me to go back and watch Mac Jones and them because they were just so damn good, man. And it make me not envy or want them. It just makes me I don't like watching them because it makes me angry with our team now. And I don't want to do that because that's unfair, right? It's unfair for me to want these guys to be them, you know? So I don't want to do that and put that kind of pressure as a fan and put that kind of like on my team because them dudes was just different, bro. They was just, it just ain't no way around it. Them dudes was different. They were just different. When you guys look at the corners we had Trayvon Diggs and Pat Surtain at the same time. Those were our two corners. Both Pro Bowl players before Trayvon got hurt, all pro. These were the starting all pro guys in the pros on their respective teams. We had them at the same time. We had Minkah Fitzpatrick and Marlon Humphrey at the same time. We had Ronnie Harrison with these guys at the same time, right? So I try not to even go back and watch football like that, man, because it make me feel so upset now. And that's not fair. That's not fair to these guys. Yeah, man, having Devontae Smith, man. I mean, look at Devontae now. He just picked up where he left off. Slim Reaper's for real. That dude it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, you're right, Adam. And you know what, Adam? I'm like you, bro. But I try not to be, Adam. I try my best not to be, man, because it's not fair to hold Kendrick Law to Devontae Smith status, right? That's not fair to Kendrick. Devontae played with these type of people around him. Kendrick playing with these type of people around him, you know, and no disrespect to nobody, you know, Landon Dickerson and all them boys, man, and seeing Landon go down and get hurt and the whole team come off the bench to pat him on the head, man, that made me have tears in my eyes, bro. Hairs on my arm stood up because as a player, I know what that's like to have your teammate go down and somebody that y'all love so much and to see him go down and the whole team respect him. Man, you just that was a powerful, powerful moment that I'll probably never forget. He's a center. This wasn't a quarterback. This wasn't a running back. Landon was a damn center, right? And to see that kid on that cart because he tore his ACL and to see the entire team come off the bench and show him love, hey, man, I'm telling you, that's powerful. Anybody that played this game will know that is powerful, brother, you know? So, you know, we've had some very, very good years, man. Yeah, man, Andre, that was amazing, brother. That really showed you the bond of that team. It showed you how close they was. You know, it's just, and I try not to hold this team to that standard because those were different times, even though they were just a few short years ago, right? You know, better days coming though, man. We got a new coach in here, an offensive guy in an offensive day of football where all the rules support the offense. Better days are coming. Better days are coming. Hey, coach, our wide receiver coach was Loxley. He had our wide receivers coached up to the point to the position list. Right. They all played all the facts. X, you know, everything. Z, right? Meaning you could call matchup and route combos with those guys. Wiggins didn't develop guys to that extent. That's a fact. That's a whole fact, man. That's a whole entire fact, Coach Al. I couldn't have said it better. Back when those guys, and remember, guys, Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, Calvin Ridley. These kids were I cannot explain to you how good they were coming out of high school. Like, if you guys go back and watch Jerry Jeudy in high school at some of these camps, man, this kid was He was bigger than Calvin. He ran routes like Calvin and Amari, but he was bigger than both of them, taller than both of them. If you guys just can go back and watch Jalen Waddle, Swiss Army knife, punt return, kick return, run the ball, catch the ball, just go back and watch some of these kids, man. You really realize we had the cream of the crop, man. OJ Howard, right? And we didn't use him like we should have. We turned a pass catcher into a blocker, right? If OJ Howard was playing in this day and age with these type of offenses, OJ would catch 60 passes a year, man. We turned him into a blocker. I think against Clemson that game where he scored 2-3 times, that was his first touchdowns of that whole entire season. So, you know, Kenyon Drake, yeah, that's one of my favorites. Kenyon Drake, that's Coach Al. He down there from where Coach Al at. Coach Al, know him personally down there in Powder Springs, Georgia. When you look at those kids, man, it you know, sometimes if you go back and watch that USC game, and I'm gonna let you guys go after this. If you guys go back and watch that USC game, we played USC the first game of the season, and watch Reuben Foster. The whole USC team was scared to death of this dude. Then you see when they was in the huddle, you can always tell when the offense is nervous because they'll be in the huddle calling the plays, and instead they looking back at the defense. They in the huddle looking back. Reuben was smacking them dudes, man. I'm talking about it just, man. Oh, some great times, man. Great time. But better days coming, man. Better days coming. Coach DeBoer is here. This offensive football team will be something to deal with. I think our offense will be having a great year, right, Katrina? And better days are coming. Right now, we're getting disrespected a lot in a lot of the polls. You know, they don't have Alabama ranked high as far as position groups. Total disrespect, right? Adam, that's a great play. That's one of my favorite plays ever. So the good thing about it is fall camp will be here soon. And I've been on record saying this is one of the most important fall camps that we will have ever had at Alabama. We have to figure out some things going into fall camp because that's when that's when SH get real. That's when sh get real, right? Fall camp is when sh get real. You won't have a lot of time to get this team ready. You got to come out, get physical from the jump, get these kids back in football shape, install the rest of your offense, the rest of your defense, and it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work, man. So I hope these kids have a great summer. Shout out to Caden Proctor, who everybody gave him a big deal. Caden, it looked like he's dropped at least 20-something pounds. Saw that kid at A-Day. This kid face looks it ain't pudgy no more, skinny and long. Caden looked like he's lost a lot of weight, man. Can't wait to get him back out there. This kid was just a freshman, right? Just a true freshman. Second season. Getting that big rascal on pin and pull. I think he's agile enough to do it. I really do believe it. I think when Caden got to Alabama, he had some lazy habits in his pass set. Me and Al talked about this. His pass set was a little lazy, a little late, a little, his punch was not very good. His kick slide wasn't very good, very off balance, lunging a lot, right? And when you lunge a lot in college, that worked in high school. In college football, the pass rushers are too good for that. You got to do a lot of technique to play tackle in college football, man. A lot of technique. And I think we're going to be okay. I think Alabama is going to prove a lot of people wrong. I think our depth will get better. I think Coach DeBoer and his staff will have this team where it needs to be. I believe that. I believe that in my heart, and that's just not the fan in me. Vin Holly, roll tide to you. Yeah, we lucky, Vin. We lucky, man. I was, it sucks. We lost all that secondary help, right? Andre Baraka says, here's one for you, Coach. At one point, we landing Kirby Muschamp and Schumann all on exactly. Man, when you let me put that comment up there. When you think about that, Andre, that is almost amazing, brother. We had all these key. I don't know if Muschamp. What are you talking about? At Bama? I don't think Muschamp's been at Bama. I don't think Will Muschamp has ever been at Bama. I know Kirby Landing and Schumann was, but I don't think Will Muschamp has ever been at Alabama. Now, if you're talking about somewhere else, okay. But you talking about at Georgia, maybe. Now Georgia, yeah, they all were together. It's crazy. It's why their defense was crazy. It's why their defense was one of the best in the country. Lisa Fitz, you roll tide, Lisa. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Yeah, Kenya was super fast, man. Kenya was speed on top of more dadgum speed, man. Speed kills. No matter how you want to put it on the field, it kills. But better days are coming, guys. We reminisce over the old because it was such a good time. It was such a good time, but better days are coming. I promise you, better days are coming. They hired the right coach to replace the GOAT, and better days are coming. Please believe it. Roll Tide to the undefeated. Roll Tide to everybody who tapped in. I appreciate you guys, man. Big shout out to you guys. Football is still coming. It's coming. That was before he took the Florida job. I don't remember Will Muschamp being at Alabama, Andre. I don't think Will Muschamp has ever been at Alabama. I don't ever remember Will Muschamp being at Alabama. You said before he took the Florida job? Before he took the Florida job, he was at Will was at he was with Mac Brown in Texas. He was at Auburn. He was at LSU. I don't think Will Muschamp has ever coached with Coach Saban at Bama. He coached Coach Saban at LSU when it was him, Jimbo, Kirby, all those. Yeah, Will Muschamp was not at Bama. Facts. He wasn't at Alabama. Respectfully. Shout out to Sweet Home Bama 24. Shout out to Al. Shout out to Vin Holly. Pretty much everybody. Better days are coming, guys. We just got to let them get here quick enough, right? We just got to let them get here quick enough. And I think they will. I think the recruiting is still great, right? I think that we do need to pick it up in the defensive front, right? We do need to pick it up in the defensive front. I think we need more defensive front guys. I think after this season, what's up, Walt Albright? How you doing, man? Roll Tide to you. Yeah, as far as Andre, I'm looking at it right now, Andre. He never was at Bama. Before he took the Florida job, he was a DC at Auburn in 2015. Yeah, so like I said, I don't ever remember Will being at Alabama. So he had never been at Alabama, Andre. But it's all good. It's all good. I get your point, though, Andre. You still made a great point. That's a whole fact. All those guys being on one staff is crazy. You're 100% right, Andre. Larry Lodge, what's up with you, bro? It's still a lot to see, guys. It's a lot to see, man. Yeah, he worked for Saban at LSU. Right, John Jay. 100% facts. It's a lot to see, man. It's a lot to see. It's a lot of things coming. A lot of things coming, guys. It's going to be an interesting college football year, guys. With this 12-team playoff coming, guys, with Oklahoma and Texas joining the SEC, this is the time when Alabama has to reinvent ourselves, man, because it's going to be tougher. It's going to be more tough right now. Well, I do think it'll be easier. What's up, Ruben Poole? Roll Tide to you, my bro. Well, I do think it will be easier to get into the playoffs because it's 12 teams. I think the grind of the SEC is going to be just that much more tough, man. We already had it bad, but now you had Oklahoma and Texas, right? Texas has recruited well since Sark has been there. These guys have recruited well. Now, they had a lot of older players last year, but they got some talented young ones coming in. Oklahoma, same thing. These guys have recruited well. Brent Venables took over a mess after dude left. The USC dude left. Brent Venables has since turned that defense around. End of the season, they were playing outstanding. And Oklahoma will be a problem. Going to Norman is not going to be an easy task, man. I promise you, it's not. Thank you, Katrina. Thank you, man. I appreciate you more than you know, right? It's going to be exciting, Katrina. It's going to be exciting. In closing, it's going to be exciting. New year, new teams on the schedule a little bit. A lot of new teams have joined other conferences. college football is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy, man. Right? Roll Tide to you all, man. Thank you for tapping in. I see you guys probably on Monday, God willing. This grass is waiting on me now, no matter how much I prolong it, right? And everybody stay prayed up, man. Keep Miss Jenny prayed up. Keep Gil Cruz prayed up. Shout out to OGJ Townsend, who always bestowing great wisdom. My broski, Patriot Life. Shout out to Coach J. Shout out to Miro. Shout out to Coach Smook. Shout out to Kyle. Shout out to T. Shout out to Ty Hayes, my broski. Shout out to everybody, man. You know what I mean? Have a great weekend, man. And Roll Tide to you all, man.